having the call on, I have to be mindful of it repeating. Oops, not that one. Okay, it's going to sykes.rolanda@gmail. That's good for you. No problem. Nobody else jumped on yet. All right. Okay, so you're saying you're getting an error message. Is that the email that we used last time? Nope, not yet. Oh, nope, nope, not yet. All right, let me. Okay, what I'll do is settings. It's there. Okay, sent you another link, and okay, Control-C, copy. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to post it also in the Uber conference. So if you click on that link, it should bring you in. Okay. Let's see. Ah. Okay. Okay. So are you talking through your computer or on your phone? Okay. No. You definitely would need to hang up when you're let's see, you definitely would need to hang up when you actually are connected, because then what's going to happen is there's going to be the echo. Okay, let me try. Yeah, I did, and I'm going to send it to another email as well, just to, so this is going to your AOL one. Could you click on, did you see the link inside of Uber Conference? Like on the right hand side, the chat window? Oh, yeah. See, I don't know whether you actually log into Uber Conference, whether you click on the link that takes you automatically to Uber Conference for the phone call, or whether you just call in, like you pick up the phone. Okay, so no problem. I'm going to send you regular email, seeing if this works too. Okay. Oh, I knew that. Oh, gee. That is hilarious. Okay. I'm laughing. Sorry, I'm laughing at myself because I have the video camera on, and I'm sharing a slide, and that was good. So I'm sharing the slide, and when I'm presenting, the screen changes, and at the bottom it says, like, it warns you saying, "Hey, your screen is live." But I was trying to send you a new email, and I couldn't click send because it was behind the notice that said your screen is live. So I was figuring out, okay, how do I move it around? What's that? Yeah. Yeah, I definitely appreciate it. Yeah, so it says like you're screen sharing and presenting to everyone. So it's like, okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Yeah, and normally by net, like I don't want to close the conference until you actually get onto the webinar. So you said, why don't you click on the link that you had before? Okay. Yeah. Whichever. There you go. You just popped up. Okay, that's a new link. Excellent. Okay. So.
And now I need
is where you're gonna have the echo. So it's not you, it's me. I have two things on. So what I'm gonna do is close down the phone. Okay. So I actually click on my screen, like the actual computer, but I have the phone in my ear. So I'm going to hang up the phone. Okay.
Okay.
Well, I've been sitting here all day. I've been sitting in this waiting room.
Okay. Let's see. So
And I've been waiting on
you're going to hear that in the background because the conference room is still open if someone comes in. So I'm not on it. So that must be, I'm assuming that's me. So if you close the Uber conference tab, you shouldn't hear that waiting message.
Go to the Google Conference tab.
No. Now you're fine.
Okay.
Okay.
That's because I took it off speakerphone, but it's still playing.
Oh, okay. Okay, I can hear you loud and clear. All right, and let's do this. Now,
How do you get a picture up there or a screenshot?
like this?
Yes, so that you're not always live.
Oh, how do I get a screenshot?
Yeah,
Okay, so you can, hopefully you can see yourself right now.
I can see myself,
Okay,
and
excellent.
I don't see you.
Okay, so this is what I do is on my computer, I open up several tabs.
Mm-hmm.
So if I click on, stop presenting, oh, okay, so this is me here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I do is I click on the, there's a screen share button where I can click on what do I want to show. So, let me.
So that's the green one.
Yeah, let me do it this way. I'm going to click you as the presenter. Present to everyone. Okay, I think, did that work? Let's see. Nope, maybe not. Okay, what I'm trying to do is, oh, you know what? I could work it in the background, but when I click on your square at the bottom right,
Mm-hmm.
at the bottom, you should see two squares, one that's me and one that's you.
Yes.
If you're the presenter, if I click on the square, that's the square that's going to show up on the big screen.
Oh, okay.
So if I did not click it, Google would keep switching back and forth between the two of us, and it could be kind of annoying.
Gotcha.
So that's something to think about. Now, to answer your question, on the left-hand side, if you're presenting, the second thing down is a green square with an arrow that says screen share.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. So if you click on screen share, actually, this is a good practice. If you click on screen share, a thing will pop up that'll say share your screen.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and if you, it should say Google Hangouts is one of it. It may say entire screen is
Yes.
another one. If you have other tabs open or other programs open, it will give you everything that the choice of the things that you have open on your screen.
Oh, okay.
So meaning you could have PowerPoint open on your computer, and when you click screen share, select when it says share your screen, click on that and click share. So that way, when I click on your name, what's going to show is the screen. Excellent.
Okay.
Excellent. You did it. Excellent.
Okay.
Okay. So that way, this is me, this is you. And actually, by you doing it this way, you're literally running the presentation. So when it's your turn to speak, you just click on the slides on the left-hand side.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Okay. Now, just to let you know, there's an extra tweak that I totally forgot about setting up, which is this. When you click on slideshow on your side, it's going to take over your whole screen.
Right. Okay.
So you could practice it in doing that now if you want. To just hit play. Yep.
Oh, okay. But it times it, right? Oh, I can click the arrow when it goes to the next
Right.
one?
So you can click. So you can click when you want to start the next
Oh, okay.
slide.
I like that.
Now, there's a trick though that instead of opening up the whole, oh, you know what? If you go back to SlideShare, you're going to have another choice. You're going to have the slideshow working that's different from the regular PowerPoint. Because what I'm seeing is actually the PowerPoint productivity enhancers with the slides on the left-hand side instead of just one slide.
Okay.
So if you hit play, make sure you go. Actually, let me do it with you because there's a trick with PowerPoint that it allows you to watch in a browser.
Hi, excuse me for interrupting, but your song is still playing. I'm wondering if that's what other people are getting
Okay.
if they try to call in.
Let me check.
Now it just went off.
Hello, guys. I was able to make it. Sorry for the delay here.
Hi,
Hey. Oops, okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. So I'm going to call in. Actually, let me see if I can do it with the. Nope, I'm going to have to call in on the phone. So I'm going to call in because David can only hear you. He can't hear me.
Okay.
I can hear you. Did you cut?
Yeah, you can hear me? Okay, so you're hearing me through Sister Rolanda's speaker. So I'm going to send you a if I don't know if you're not on the website. So let me send you an email. Okay. Okay, here is the link. Okay, so I sent you a link to your Kingdom Biz Solutions.
Okay.
And when you click on, you should be in there in a moment.
Okay. Yes, I see. Build a SMS marketing list.
Okay.
That's correct.
You said you see a glitch.
Oh, no, it says build a SMS marketing list. Correct?
There we go. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear everything that you said. There should be an email directly from me that if you click on it, it's from me at wisdomwealthadvisors.com, that if you click on it, it should add you into the webinar, the hangout.
He said he sees a build a SMN marketing list.
No, that's not what I sent you. Okay. Still wait for you to get in.
Okay.
Ty, do you want me to go back to the original window?
Actually, no. I have the webinar open, so I'm just waiting for David to pop in there.
Okay.
And there we go. All right. Excellent. Okay. So I'm going to hang up the Uber conference.
Okay.
And let's see.
The organizer has ended this Uber conference. Goodbye.
Okay. So that's me ending the phone call piece. Okay, so we have David, Landa, and myself. Okay. So I appreciate you guys being on the call. Again, this is this is different from the our overall mastermind call. It's more or less to practice getting comfortable giving webinars, as well as sharing information that we think everyone would appreciate. So the call is being recorded. I did get a link out to. I didn't get a link to you, David. I did. Rolanda, did you get the link of the video that was done earlier?
I did not.
You did not. Okay. It should be in. Well, you know, I'll set up a page and put everything on there.
Okay.
So again, the point of this is just to get practice giving a webinar, and again, you can slice this, dice this, however you want to do. The point of this is to just take 10 minutes. So Rolanda, if you want to go first, if you need some time, let me know. I'm more than happy to get started if you do need some time.
No, I'm good.
Okay. So we'll have Rolanda start. And do you want to move the slides, or you want me to move the slides?
Let me see if I can. I just have to hit play. You know, I can do
It
that.
probably will be better if you move the slides.
Okay.
For more than one reason. Just because if you're comfortable moving the slides while you're presenting, that's exactly what you're going to be doing in a general webinar.
Okay. Okay, so my presentation today is about productivity enhancers. Now I want to talk about how you can start your day strong and finish it strong. With all the distractions we have today with social media, text messaging, or regular emergencies, or a job, whatever we have going on, or the things going on in our personal lives, it's very easy to start off a day planning to do X amount of activities, and then when you get to the end of the day and you start reviewing it in your head, you have not accomplished one thing on the list. So if that happens occasionally or every now and then, once a month, then you can consider it an emergency. However, if it's happening every day, then we need to take a look at what we are doing that is taken away from us being as productive as we can, and also what we can do to increase the chance that we are meeting our goals, which I think we all have. Even if we're not writing them down, we do have some goals in our head that we want to accomplish. So I'm going to talk about a few things that will help increase the chance that when you get from one point to another, you have actually hit some targets. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is planning ahead. There's a saying that I know most of you probably heard: if you fail to plan, then you might as well plan to fail. So with that in mind, you need to take a look at your calendar. Ideally, at the end of the year or the beginning of each year, you need to start considering what you want to accomplish for that whole year. There are some people who have 5-year plans, 10-year plans. I can't think that far out. Ultimately, what I can do is put some things into a calendar for the year and then start breaking them down into your monthly activities, your weekly activities, and ultimately your daily activities. So if at the end of the month, let's say you have a financial goal, because that's easy for all of us to think about. You have a financial goal in mind. There are some targets you need to hit on a daily or weekly basis in order to get to that monthly goal, or it's simply not going to happen. Or you may start breaking it down to weekly activities and ultimately into daily activities. So with that in mind, you have your calendar, whether it's on the computer or whether you're using a paper calendar. I have my activities on a computer, but then I take them and ultimately I put them on a paper calendar. I don't know if it's necessary to have both, but that is what works for me right now. So you plan your schedule for the week, let's say. You plan your schedule for the week, and then you want to start looking every day and say, what do I have to do every day in order to meet my goals? And you really should be looking at your calendar every day the night before. Review your planned schedule, and when you get up in the morning, you really want to seize the day. Now, for some people, again, with these cell phones, the first thing in the morning they do is get up and start looking at their email. If you're like me, sometimes I'm playing a word game. We're just doing all kinds of things. And when you know anything, a whole hour has gone by and you have not moved off the side of the bed. We need to stop that. So you review your planned schedule as soon as you get up in the morning and start prioritizing your top 3 activities for the day. If you looked at your calendar the night before, you already have some things in your head. But when you get up in the morning, that should be the first thing you do. Take a look at that. One of the other things you can do, since again, we're pulled by social media, instead of just being pulled helter-skelter every time an email comes into your inbox, you're taking a look at it. You really want to schedule the time for reading and responding to emails. This reduces the time you spend on social media and ultimately reduces the amount of time that we waste throughout today. And as much as you can, you want to stick to that plan. Even if you're not hitting your targets in the beginning, if you keep this practice weekly and daily, you're going to see that you start focusing more on, I need to do this and need to do that. Instead of saying you need to do it, you're actually hitting some of those targets. Now, one of the other things you can do to increase your productivity is to work in 60 to 90-minute blocks of unfocused time. I'm sorry, I said unfocused here, but it's focused time. Research shows that between 60 and 90 minutes, and I've seen it from both sides, is the ideal block of time to just work. So if you have what we call an income producing activity, that means I'm not answering emails, I'm not responding to phone calls, and I'm really, as much as possible, not being interrupted. So if you have a family, you may say to them, I'm going to work from this time from 8 o'clock to 9:30, and please do not interrupt me during that time. If you make sure you're focused, you're going to see that you're really hitting some of those targets. And here are just some performance enhancers. None of these are things that you have not heard before, but when you group all these things together, it increases the chances that our energy and mental level is at the point where we can actually increase the amount of time that we spend during that focus time. First thing you need to do is get enough sleep, ideally between 6 to 8 hours a day. You'll hear people say, I only need 1 to 2 hours of sleep a night. I don't think that we perform optimally when we're not getting enough sleep. Also, when you're doing your 90-minute blocks or 60-minute blocks, take some time. If you do say 1 or 2 or even 3 throughout the day, take some time between each one of those blocks. Take a 20-minute span, get up and stretch, go walk, just unplug from the computer. You can read during that time, but just get away for 20 minutes, and then you come back, you're basically refreshing. You can even use that time to meditate. One of the other things you can do is eat healthy foods, and we've heard it, decrease the processed foods, the amount of processed foods you're eating, eat more fruits, eat more vegetables. Also, you want to drink more water. Sometimes when we're tired and we're flagging and we're going after the caffeine, what you really need is a glass of water. So if you drink water, that also is going to help refresh your body. Another performance enhancer is to listen to Baroque music while you're working during your focus period, your focus block. If you are trying to take in large amounts of content and really need to concentrate, there is information that says this helps you to take in that information better and retain it. And another thing that you can do is, this is not new, but I think more and more people are becoming aware of it, is the use of essential oils. Now, and I won't get into the uses of each one, but several of the main ones are lavender oil, tea tree oil, eucalyptus, orange, lemongrass, and peppermint. Each one of these oils has its own benefit. It could be relaxation, calming, help with the respiratory system. So if you really research those things, on any given day, you can be using another different type of oil in a diffuser, which will help also when you're working in those 60 to 90-minute blocks. So when you look at any one of these things individually, you can, if you're not doing them already, you can start focusing in on them and adding them to your day. The more of these things that you can do together, the better off you're going to be, and the better able you're going to be to able to perform. And that, over a period of time, we should see that we are getting more and more things on our list accomplished, that up to this point, we're just saying, where's time going? And that is my presentation. Are there any questions?
Excellent, excellent. I didn't see the slides.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know how to, let me see.
If you move your mouse and click on the slide to the left, so like right now, number 1 is highlighted.
Okay. You know, once I put it on the whole screen, so let me see.
Oh, okay. So then what that means is this. That means what you need to do is at the top of your screen where it says your screen, there you go.
Okay.
So what happened is you must have had your whole screen was showing your presentation
That
of
is
what
correct.
you were seeing, but
Yes.
that's not what you were screen sharing.
Okay.
What you were screen sharing was just PowerPoint, not the slideshow that's presenting.
Okay.
So the way you would do that is go up to the top where it says your screen sharing and click on stop and then start it over again.
Up to the top.
Yeah, don't start the screen share yet. You would go up to the top of your screen. It's probably green where it says you are screen sharing.
I don't see that at all.
Okay, all the way over to the left side of your screen. Remember where you saw that little green arrow with that said screen share?
Yes.
Okay, click on that.
That's an entirely different, you know what? I think what happened, I was in my PowerPoint instead of on the Hangout.
Right.
Okay, let me go back to the Hangout. Okay, there we go.
Okay, so now you're back to you. Now if you go to screen share again.
Screen share. That green arrow?
Yes.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, now one of your choices is PowerPoint.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, let's do it again. Let's do it again. Go back to yourself again.
It's itself. Okay.
Okay, it's still on the same thing. You'd have to stop it and.
Okay, stop screen share.
Okay, excellent. So now what I want you to do is start your PowerPoint presentation. So it should take over your whole screen.
So I have to go back to screen share again.
Now go to screen share and you're going to have a different choice for PowerPoint.
Entire screen?
Yes. Okay. Okay. Let's cancel that. That's not the one that we want because that's okay. There should be a different choice other than entire screen.
I actually see these. Okay. That one.
Okay. So
are you seeing it now?
no, not yet. I see your PowerPoint, but not see, this is the trick that I know about. So what it is where you have PowerPoint in your browser.
Right.
So instead of it taking up your whole screen, it just plays in a browser. Because if it plays in a browser, you can do the same thing that I'm doing. I have one tab that's open, and that's what I'm showing.
Okay.
So let's see. Let's see. Okay, so this is, let's see if this works on my PowerPoint. PowerPoint, slideshow, is there a setup? Setup show. There it is. Okay. Let's see now if I could. Yep. Okay. I got the ticket here. All right. So in PowerPoint, you ready?
Yes.
Okay. In PowerPoint, you're going up to once you're clicked on PowerPoint, you go up to your menu up at the top and you're looking for slideshow. And you scroll down where your choice says set up show. So you go up to the top of your screen where it says PowerPoint file, edit, view, insert.
Okay, I see slideshow.
All the way up to the top of your screen. Your mouse is not up high enough. Keep going up. Keep going up. Up to the top of your screen.
I'm up top.
Okay, there should be a menu where you see, like on my screen, I see an apple, and I see PowerPoint, file, edit, view.
Yep.
Okay, go to slideshow, the word slideshow, click on it. At the bottom of the list says set up show.
Okay.
Click on that. And in setup show, the first thing says show type. And you want browse by an individual window.
Okay.
Now when you hit play, hit play, and it's going to present your PowerPoint in a window by itself.
Play.
So, yep, there's the play. Yep.
Is that it?
Do you see it in a window?
I do.
Okay. Now you're going to turn off the screen sharing and turn it back on and select the window.
Select.
Okay, you go to screen sharing, and the one that you want to select, you don't want to say view entire screen. You want to view the tab that the PowerPoint thing is playing on. There you go. So now that tab is going to work just like PowerPoint. When you click, it's going to move through the slides.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Excellent. So that's a little trick because of you working in a tab. So you have PowerPoint playing where it's not taking off your whole screen. It's playing in the tab. And one of the benefits of it is when someone views your webinar, you're seeing your full presentation. And you can move the tab over to the side and have something else on your screen.
Okay.
But they're only seeing the presentation.
So you're only seeing the presentation. Okay.
Right. I'm only seeing your presentation. Like right now I see it say Carpe Diem.
Yes. Okay. And then I can use the arrows. Okay.
Exactly.
Got it.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Now, shall I close out?
Sure. Sure.
Stop sharing or hit the red arrow or what?
You can hit stop sharing.
Okay. Okay.
Excellent. Okay, so what I'm going to work off of is this blank screen here. Just as an example of where you don't necessarily, well, it actually can help to have slides, but I just want to work through some information that's top of mind and give a quick presentation, and then you can give feedback, questions that you might have.
Okay.
Okay. My presentation is going to be called Going to Court.
Excuse me 1 second.
Yes.
I'm seeing me. What do I need to do?
You're seeing you over the full screen. Okay. Let's see. Do you see me now?
I do.
Okay.
But I just see you in the little box, but I'm still on the.
Oh, okay. That's just because you got to click on me, and that'll show up big on your screen.
Okay. So now I got your.
You see a waterfall in California.
Yep. Is David still here?
No,
Okay.
he dropped off.
Okay.
Okay, and yeah, he's definitely okay. So what I wanted to talk quickly about is going to court. And what prompted this is just thinking about a lot of the concerns that people are having with politics and understanding rights and talks about immigration or what have you. It really came to mind that people really are not taught civics. They really don't know their rights. And one aspect of helping to understand it is if someone had a ticket, a traffic ticket, and had to go to court for that, how would they be able to assert their rights?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of information. The legal industry, like one, I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not practicing law. I'm sharing information that belongs to the people. This is not owned by any particular law group or whatever. This is our laws. So the industry has a vested interest in making things seem real complicated, so that people just say, forget this, I don't know my rights, I need to get a lawyer. Yet there are some free resources and cheap resources that are available to help to understand that a lot of what happens in the law is administrative, meaning it's following procedure. It's not where people are in front of a jury and the jury is deciding a case. It's a judge where the judge is making a decision.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the free resources is a website called 1215.org, 1215.org. It's a free website with it will take a year to read all the information, but it's the 1215 is the year of the Magna Carta, which our laws come from. It was a major landmark in the world that set up the basis of people having rights. Another website is called jurisdictionary.com, jurisdictionary.com. So dictionary with the word juris in front of it. And that is a website where there's a course that's $200. It's a course to teach lawyers how to try cases. And you will get so much information, but it's put together that in 2 days you can go through that process, and then you will understand exactly what's going on in court.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a way of not feeling scared or whatever when you're like, oh, this is what they're doing. I need to object here. I need to say this, that, or the other. So with that being said, within the court process, in order to have a trial, in order to be in court, there has to first be what's called a complaint. A complaint is a written document that at least states 3 things. So in order to have a lawsuit, the complaint states what are the facts. It has to state in the complaint what's the evidence for injury. So it says these things happened, those are the facts. Then it has to say, hey, I was hurt by that. And here's the evidence of being injured. The third thing, it has to state demands for damages in regards to the injuries. So, hey, here are the facts. I was hurt, and here are the damages to fix my hurt, to compensate me. That starts the whole ball rolling. You start with a complaint. Now, in the court, there's two sides. There's the plaintiff side and there's the defendant side. The plaintiff is the person that brings the lawsuit. The defendant is the person being charged.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's important to understand this, and people don't think about this, but the plaintiff always wins. The defendant always loses. Why am I saying that? If you're a plaintiff and you lose your case, what did it cost you? Not like, okay, so you lost the case, but let's look at it from the flip side. If you're the defendant and you go free, what did you gain? So the reason why I'm bringing it up this way is, as if you're the plaintiff, you make a case, you charge someone saying, hey, this is what happened, this is what damaged me, these are the injuries, this is the damages. And even if you lose, it's like, okay, well, it's like what arguably what people say about like sexual like rape in college campuses now, where people complain about something and you don't even, it's like you don't even go before like, okay, did this happen or whatever. There's cases where people find out, oh, the person actually lied, and it's like, oh, okay, well, so what? Like the person that brings the case, it's not like they get thrown in jail or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm bringing this up to say the plaintiff is like the creditor, the defendant is like the debtor, and the superior position is the plaintiff. So I'm bringing this up because in common law, and I talk sometimes about law being public and private, and understanding that really helps to understand the different types of law. In common law, the defendant is innocent till proven guilty. That's what we kind of understand. But there's another type of law that's not common law that's called admiralty. Admiralty law is where the defendant is guilty until proven innocent.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason why I wanted to start there is when you're in a lawsuit, you want to be in a position of being the plaintiff. So even if you're a defendant, you want to file a counterclaim so that you're a counter plaintiff in the issue. So I briefly talked about this, but in the Constitution, now there's generally public and private, but in the actual words of the Constitution, there's 4 types of law that they discuss there. One is called admiralty. People call that the law of the sea, but it's really, admiralty is the law of commerce. And admiralty applies during like piracy and, well, let me describe the 4 laws. There's admiralty, there's equity, there's common law, and there's maritime law. Now, maritime law is literally shipping. So you know that just by the word, it relates to the sea.
Mm-hmm.
Common law is what people had being private, where everything is driven by contract. Everything is, I'll describe it this way. In admiralty law, which is the law of commerce, it applies during war. It applies, so like, if you're in war, the military is in control. The judge is the authority to make rulings. And you know when you're in an admiralty court, when you step in the court, the flags have a gold fringe around it. That's the flag for war, for admiralty. That means the judge is the final decision maker. Whereas in common law, it's a regular flag, and the jury is the final decision maker. So it's important to know, are you in admiralty or common law? Because in common law, where no statutes, no codes apply, it's only laws apply to everybody, only an injured party can sue you under common law. So there's no state of New Jersey against so-and-so. It has to be a living flesh and blood person that's suing you, and that you're suing. So natural person to natural person.
Okay.
So we have been under admiralty law in the courts for a long time, ever since even Abraham Lincoln. And it's important to understand that, because that's what allows, if we were not under admiralty law, then whenever you sit in a court, your first thing is to ask the court, what jurisdiction are you under? When you're assuming you're the defendant, when the judge, the first thing they're going to want you to say is, okay, well, how do you plead? And what you're going to say is, wait, I'm sorry, Judge, I need to understand, what is this, a criminal or civil? Is this an admiralty? Like, what court am I under, so I know how to defend myself? They want to push for you to quickly plea, because once you plea, you're saying you're playing in the game. You're going under their authority. So that's why it's important to first establish where's the jurisdiction before even a plea is entered. And you'll see this is a big issue in a court, because judges will try to even give you a public defendant, even though you can afford it, but they want to give you an attorney, so the attorney's going to speak for you and say, I'm under the jurisdiction. Oh, I'm going to enter a plea. And it's like, whoa. And they'll say, well, are you guilty or you're not guilty? And you'll hear where judges will even say, oh, well, I'm just going to say enter a plea of non-guilty. And it's like, whoa, you're a judge. You can't. So, judge, are you representing me? So, judge, if you're representing me, you can't represent me and also preside over me. That's a conflict of interest. But a lot of people don't know their rights, and the judge will just enter a plea for them, putting them under jurisdiction where you don't want to have that happen. So what's important, as you learn your civics, before you go into court, write down, have a written statement for points that you want to make, because you want to get what you're saying in the court record. You want to bring a digital recorder and keep it in your pocket, so that way you have a recording of what's said. Because sometimes courts will try to not have somebody record stuff, and you might lose track of what's going on. So like I mentioned, one of the first things judges are going to try to get you to do is to have you enter your plea. And under common law, or even under the law, there's certain pleas always have to be entered a certain way. Pleas must be entered knowingly. You must know about it. It must be voluntarily entered into. It must be with a clear understanding of the nature of the charge against you and the penalties levied for the offense. So if someone tries to get you to enter a plea, and you're saying, before a plea is entered, I need to understand the nature of the charge against me. I need to understand what jurisdiction. Otherwise, the court isn't following what's called habeas corpus, which by the judges swear an oath to follow the Constitution and to be under that. So they would be in violation of their employment contract if they don't do that. So let me bring this down to the way of let's say you're driving a car and you get stopped by an officer. So this is even before court. Once you sign a contract, you can't refuse the contract. And so an officer acts on behalf of the United States, on the company, the United States, to get compliance. So when you receive a ticket, it's presumed or it's assumed that you voluntarily signed the ticket.
Mm-hmm.
So what you can do is you can sign the ticket and put by the letters BY a colon, your name, and then authorized representative. Why is that? Because the ticket is given to your straw man, the all caps you, not you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's addressed to that corporate fictitious entity. And so if you're signing as a person different, you can't be forced to even go to court for that. Because like the tickets will say, hey, you're promising to appear at the bottom of the ticket. So that's why you sign as your name is authorized rep. Or if the officer even threatens you, you could sign your name and put at the end of it without prejudice, or even sign your name and put U/D for under duress.
Mm-hmm.
Some cases it works where you can verbally tell the officer, I'm resuming or I'm reserving all my rights. But my point with this is, if you're given a ticket, and what's also interesting to know is, in order to be stopped by a ticket, it's not lawful for an officer to stop you unless they have a lawful warrant, unless they have your permission, or they have probable cause, like they witness you violating your fellow person.
Mm-hmm.
So if you get a ticket and you put under you sign it as authorized rep, so it's not, you're separate from the fictitious you, the all caps. Under the Uniform Commercial Code, since everything is commerce, you have 3 days to challenge any contract that you enter into. So you could take the ticket and mail it back and write on it, refused for cause per UCC 1-308, meaning they had no cause to send it to you.
Mm-hmm.
And when you mail it back with proof of service, meaning not just you mailing it, but I would recommend that you have a notary mail it, so you have a third party
Mm-hmm.
that could testify in court that you mailed it with like a certified stamp on it.
Mm-hmm.
Then after you do that, you then send a letter to the court saying, I didn't do anything wrong under the law of New Jersey and the Constitution of the United States. I haven't injured anyone. This is a victimless crime. The only thing that I could be even guilty of is violating a code, which is the color of law and not law. Again, law is common law. It's where there's a person physically injured. But again, the judge, their purpose is to get you to consent to contract by doing a pleading. And when you plead, you acknowledge that the court has jurisdiction over you. So I know this might be a different thing that people hear, where they're in court and instead of just automatically pleading guilty or non-guilty, you could say, well, I don't believe that you have jurisdiction over me, and I don't believe there's any evidence to the contrary exists. And if you can't show me any evidence that you have jurisdiction over me, then I'm free to go.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of examples that you can even see when you see like on YouTube or whatever, of people actually in court asserting the same thing, saying this, and where the judge will try to say something different, and they'll say, excuse me, Your Honor, you didn't answer my question, my previous question. I need to know that you actually have jurisdiction over me, and if not, then I'm free to go.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm saying this because thinking about if you're in a admiralty court where the judge is the one making the decision, that's what. And again, with civics, people forget. They think like, how do judges get to make decisions when it's supposed to be the jury? Okay, if you're in a military, from that standpoint, in a military situation, the commanding officer can't be wrong because the commanding officer is a man of honor, which means that whatever the commanding officer charges you with, it's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And so, in that framework, when you're charged with a violation, you could do two things. You could agree that you're guilty, or you could argue about it and say you're not guilty. Now, one of the aspects of operating in common law is to remain in honor. So if you're in an argument, that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So, and what's also interesting is in logic, you can't argue a negative, meaning you can't prove that you didn't do something.
Mm-hmm.
What you can only prove that you did do something. So even with that, a better approach, instead of agreeing saying you're guilty or arguing and being in dishonor, is you conditionally accept the charge based on proof that it's true.
Mm-hmm.
So meaning they have to prove that it's true. So that's a little quick thing of giving little bullet points of how do you would talk about your rights in court. And this kind of filters back to like the talking about the having Jubilee, where if you have a mortgage and someone says, oh, well, we're going to foreclose or whatever, and they're trying to get a judgment, you could say, instead of arguing like, no, you could say, well, I agree to pay whatever. I agree that I owe this if you can show proof that you're a creditor. So that flips the scenario, and that's why they can't prove that they're not creditors.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a way that you when I talk about Jubilee, you get out of debt but remain in honor. You're not saying, oh, I'm not doing whatever. You're saying, I'll gladly honor this. You have to show me proof of who you are.
Mm-hmm.
So you conditionally accept what you're charged with based on them providing proof.
Okay.
So at that, are there any questions?
No questions. It's really good information, though. It just makes you feel like you do have some power over your circumstances if you end up in court.
Yeah. I'm actually also like thinking out loud about something else I'm working on, which is diplomatic immunity,
Mm-hmm.
which is actually comes from this of knowing your statuses. Most people, when they're asked, are they citizens? I'll just put it this way: people don't realize that there's still slavery right now in the United States. Like they think the 14th Amendment got rid of slavery.
Mm-hmm.
The 13th Amendment, but what it actually did is change the term. So instead of saying there's no slavery, it says there's no involuntary servitude except if you're convicted of a crime.
Mm-hmm.
So that led me to this whole rabbit hole of saying, oh, since I do invest, let me look at one of the stocks and then go down the rabbit hole with that. Corrections Corporation of America, that's the one doing all the private prisons.
Mm-hmm.
And then let me look at their annual reports. And they're telling you directly, oh, we get guaranteed sentencing. Like we got certain areas where, based on where you live, the judges are saying we're going to definitely guarantee that you get a certain number of people locked up.
Mm-hmm.
And they need to have the people there in order for the prisons to operate. So it's like, oh, so you got the judges just feeding people in the prison. And so and this happens definitely when people don't know what their rights are.
Right.
But it's definitely it's exciting to me. It's a lot, but
It is a lot, but even more so just knowing it's out there, is good for people because we just don't know. The average person simply doesn't know, so it's good.
well, I appreciate I appreciate you being on the call. Again, the reason why I did this the way that I did, I know it would be better to have slides, but I'm actually thinking through different things that I would want to talk about, and it's kind of helpful. Actually, what I probably am going to do is put together something where I literally show and write out what do you write down on things. So,
Okay.
like literally, when you sign your name, stop just signing your name.
Right.
Make sure you're you're clear about what you're doing, or even um, like a lot of things come from this jubilee thing of like you wouldn't know how many people are giving out their social security numbers and they're not supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
And you got people asking for their social security number,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a violation of federal law. So I'm just like, ooh, if someone's has your social security number and they're not supposed to, that's a violation of your privacy.
Mm-hmm.
So let alone a quote unquote debt collector taking your social security number and putting it on a credit file where they shouldn't even have access to it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it's like a diplomat, and maybe that's what I'll call it. Like a diplomat doesn't operates differently than sharing information, putting public information. So it's even like, um, what do we call ourselves? If someone said, "Are you a citizen of the United States?" Do you just check off, "Yep, yep, yep," and not knowing that in the Constitution there's two different classes. There's the 14th Amendment citizen, which is citizen with a little c, which is the person that enables having the straw man that's then sold, a bond is created. And then there's the person that's separate from that, that's private. So it's literally in the law. It's called actually a state citizen in the law.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like instead of someone saying, "Well, are you a citizen of the United States?" It's like, "No, I'm a citizen of the United States of America." Because there's a difference in the law of the United States. United States is owned by is under the District of Columbia, which is what part of what the 14th Amendment thing is, versus saying, "Nope, I am a state citizen." Instead of giving a driver's license, which people put this use a social security card, it identifies them as someone that's under the jurisdiction. It identifies that when they're on the road, that they're operating as a driver, even though under the law, a driver is a person engaged in commerce on the roads. So instead of using the driver's license, if you use the passport, would be a totally different thing.
Okay.
And especially knowing that literally Title 5 Section 7 Rule 93-59 579 579 is the Privacy Act of 1974, which says it's illegal to require your social security number. So
Okay.
if any federal person says, "Yeah, I need your social security number," you could say, "No, I don't have to give it to you."
Mm-hmm.
Or you need my social security. My social security number is 000-00-0000.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I, I guess I'm kind of more excited about this than thinking like where things are going from here. Like the more that operating privately, the more empowered, at least I feel, and I think that I'm coming in contact with more people that are like, oh yeah, I've been doing this for years, and I'm like, oh wow, I had no idea.
Right. It's true.
Like I think I shared with you somebody from Texas that showed me pictures of his BMW. He's like, yeah, I don't use a driver's license. I don't have tag. My tags say that I'm private.
Oh,
And I was just like, you got to be kidding. It's like, yep, I'm not stopped by the police. And I'm like, oh, that maybe it's because you're in Texas. And I'm like, this is ridiculous.
yeah.
And it's like, yep, because I don't do it because I don't want to say that I'm under the jurisdiction. I'm like, well, that's a little extreme to me. And it's like, well, you can use your passport as identification. You don't have to use the driver's license.
Wow.
And that's another thing of saying that you're that you're a national, not the small C citizen that's using the straw man. Okay, so that's enough of me ranting.
No, it's good. It's good.
Yeah, I'm out. You know, actually, I will. Let's see if I can pull this up. I'm going to. See if I can do this while I have you on here. Yep, I think I can. Confirmation. Can you see this on the screen?
Yes.
Okay. So hopefully you could see the link. Can you see the link up at the top?
Pass on this link. I don't. Yes. The copper moonshine.
Yes. So I mean, all you do is and this is a process that literally describes down the difference of being a state citizen versus a U.S. small C citizen.
Okay.
And literally the steps. So where you don't let somebody bully you of giving your social security number. When you even write your address, the way that you write your address, that shows that you're not the U.S. small C citizen. Because like I didn't know that when you use the abbreviations of the state, that's something that's saying you're under jurisdiction.
Wow.
And they go through traps of always put without prejudice on your signature.
Okay.
Every time you sign it, because that way you're not giving up rights that you have.
Mm-hmm.
Never put down that you live in the United States. You live in the United States of America. Or somebody says, who are you? You're an American.
Amazing.
When you get a ticket, you write without prejudice on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you get a letter, you can send them a photocopy of your birth certificate and your passport. Where you challenge that, and this even has a cease and desist letter.
Okay.
Like it's a fact I'm a state citizen and not a U.S. citizen slave. Birth certificate is proof of this. Further, the State Department has certified this, and it's a fact that I always retain all of my rights. You're depriving me of my right to pursue happiness and tranquility. Order you to cease and desist.
Okay.
But anyway, with that, I definitely appreciate you. So the next mastermind meeting is going to be in 2 weeks on the 17th of April, right after taxes.
That should be interesting.
Yes. So if you don't have any questions or what have you, definitely we'll talk from a mastermind standpoint in a couple of weeks.
Okay. And thanks for the opportunity, because it is becoming more comfortable.
Yeah, I'll definitely talk to you offline about getting more things out.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Have a blessed evening.